Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, December 12th of 2018. We'll start with a roll call, please, Ms. Harmon.
Joe Franco. Here. Jeff Jarr.
Here.
Donald Boynton.
Here.
Brian Kelly.
Here.
Medina Atchison. Here. Sherry Bud. Here. Carol Thompson.
Here. Thank you very much. Before we get to approving the agenda and the minutes, we have some important business to take care of by our bylaws. There is an election of officers tonight. We annually elect a chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary. Any volunteers? Don't all step up at once.
Through the chair, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Carol Thompson chair, that the vice chairperson be Don Boynton, the secretary be Brian Kelly, and we also make Brian Kelly the member on the Board of Zoning Appeals, and Don Boynton his alternate.
Support. We have a motion, and a quick motion and a very quick support.
You weren't kidding.
That's right. Do you accept the nomination?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. You accept the nomination? No one else wants to be chair? Come on. I've done it for a long time. It's somebody else's turn.
Be the chair.
I don't know
You're
about
very
that.
Shoes too
good.
big to fill.
All right. We have, do I have to have a motion to close the nominations, or we can just vote?
I think we probably need a motion to,
Open the nominations.
not to open them, because we did that with this motion, but we selected, to close the nomination and accept with acclamation the people that we put forward.
All right, so now we have a motion to close the nominations and accept the motion. We have support from Commissioner Franzoy. Anybody want to acclaim or decline? Looks like we're all good, right? Thanks. All right. By our bylaws, all of those officers are now in their position for this meeting. We'll move forward. Thanks, everyone, for your votes of confidence. First item on tonight's agenda, then, is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Commissioner Boynton, support?
Support.
Commissioner Jarr, support. Any changes or additions to the agenda? All in favor of approving tonight's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the agenda is approved. And we have minutes from the meeting of November 14th, 2018. Is there a motion to approve the November 14th minutes?
So moved.
Commissioner
Support.
Jarr, support Commissioner Boynton. Any corrections on the minutes? All in favor of approving the November 14th, 2018 minutes with those very long motions, I will say, from that meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So all in favor of approving the November 14th minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the November 14th minutes are approved. Under new business tonight, we have a temporary land use proposal. The applicant, Ricardo Inc., is requesting temporary land use approval to operate a mobile refueling station at 4,000 Ricardo Drive, Van Buren Township, parcel number V125-83-04-7-99-0007-702. Is it 4,000 or 40,000, Ricardo? 40,000. Let's make sure we have that correct in all of our documents. This property is located on Ricardo Drive, which is on the east side of Haggerty Road and north of Tyler Road. For information, Ricardo Inc. is testing Toyota fuel cell vehicles at their facility. The requested mobile refueling station will allow for this testing to occur on site. This activity is proposed from December 18th through April of 2019. And we'll have a short presentation from the applicant, and then we have a review from Grace Stanford that we're looking forward
My name is Bob Neighbors. I'm representing Ricardo Inc. I'm the Director of Prototype Manufacturing Facilities. We had asked for this permit before. It was granted. We're doing the same type of testing, the same equipment. It's being, Air Products owns the equipment. They bring it in, they set it up, they do the first initial test, the refueling, to make sure it refuels, that it's acting correctly. And we use it from that point forward. It has emergency e-stops on the panel in case there's any type of issue. There's also a remote e-stop about 20 feet away, so that if there is an issue in the safe zone, you can hit it as well. It has a Wi-Fi transmitter that monitors the unit at all times. When it's not being used, so if there's any type of malfunction or leakage, it actually shuts itself down. And during the refueling, it's very similar to a gasoline pump. You take the nozzle out, you stick it into the fuel door on the vehicle, and you go ahead and you fuel. Once it's fuel, it's got to auto shut off when it reaches the correct pressure. It shuts off, take it off, and you go ahead and put it back in the unit.
Pretty straightforward. Great. Thanks so much. We'll
Thank-
hear the review recommendation, and there may be some questions for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Ms. Stamper, we've looked at this previously, but it's been a little while. Can you walk us through what the process is and how everything stacks up on this proposal?
So the application has been reviewed according to the requirements of Article 7, Section 7.120 of the zoning ordinance, which is, has the standards for temporary land use approval. So here are their criteria, and then the staff review responds to them. So regarding adequacy of parking and access, the proposed use is placed in a location that does not impede access to the parking lot, and it does not take up any additional parking spaces in the lot where people normally park, so there's definitely adequate parking and access still. Regarding adequate drainage, the proposed use will be placed on the existing parking lot and will not cause drainage issues because it does not change the amount of impervious lot surface or the amount of water that goes into the storm system. Compatibility with surrounding land uses. The use is for light industrial. It is zoned light industrial, as are the surrounding parcels, so it is a compatible land use with the surrounding area. Regarding the size, height, and type of construction of proposed buildings and structures in relation to the surrounding site, there's actually no building to be constructed as this is a temporary land use. 5 is sufficient setback from road right-of-ways and lot lines. The location of the proposed use does meet all of those, so that's not a problem. Adequate utilities. It does not require the use of any utilities at the site. 7, trash disposal and site cleanup. After talking with the applicant, it is not expected to generate any trash from the proposed use. Sanitary facilities, it will just support the current operations on the site, so they can use any sanitary facilities in the main building. Hours of operation, it will just be from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., so during normal business hours. Outdoor lighting and signs, there are not any proposed outdoor lighting or signs that go with the refueling unit. There are no other licenses or permits required. Number 12, potential noise, odors, dust, and glare. After talking with the applicant, they've indicated that the use creates little, if any, noise, so that's not expected to be a problem. Fire lanes, fire protection, and security. The location of the proposed use leaves adequate access to the lot it is placed in, and then the fire marshal has also reviewed the application and has his own letter in this. 14, off-site impacts of traffic volume. It is placed in a secured lot on the back of the property that's only used by the applicant, so it will not affect any off-site traffic. 15 is necessity of a performance guarantee or insurance to ensure proper termination and removal of the use, cleanup, or compensation for impacts of the temporary use. It is not expected to negatively impact the site, so there's no need for a performance guarantee. 16 is other concerns which may impact the public health, safety, or general welfare. This does entail some type of chemical storage, hydrogen within the refueling unit, but they have adequately outlined all the safety measures that are taken, so that is not expected to be a problem. So then the result of our staff review letter, it's the same thing as the application they submitted a few years ago that was approved by the Planning Commission. So staff recommends approval of case 18-037 for Ricardo Inc.'s temporary land use permit for a mobile hydrogen refueling unit for fuel cell vehicles from December 2018 through April 2019, subject to the following condition, and that's just compliance with the conditions set forth in the fire department review letter.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Director Akers, anything you want to call to our attention from the fire department's letter?
The fire department's letter from this dated December 5th, 2018 does indicate that the temporary is recommending approval of the temporary land use permit. There's several standards in there which are specific in the fire code to hydrogen fueling facilities, and those have all been listed by the fire marshal. I would just make sure and ask the applicant, have you received a letter of our fire marshal's review?
No, I have not.
Okay, we will, I'll let you have this copy, but, it does outline some of the requirements, you know, specifically that there's a notification of unauthorized release, that the fire department has to be notified immediately. And that, you know, it requires communication for the fire department, but they are recommending approval.
Excellent, thanks so much. Questions or comments from the commission or review, staff, or the applicant? Anyone? Anyone in the audience? Questions or comments for this application? If there's nothing, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Kelly.
I move to grant the applicant Ricardo Inc. temporary land use approval to operate a mobile refueling station at the 4,000 Ricardo Drive location based on the review analysis and subject to the conditions stated in the staff letter dated December 4th, 2018, and the Van Buren Fire Department letter dated December 5th, 2018.
Support.
Or Commissioner Boyd. Just a correction that we think the correct address is 40000, 40,000. Okay. We got it now, though. All right, we have motion and support. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion's carried. Thanks very much. It's a very thorough application, and we wish you continued success and growth.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Next, on item number 2, new business on tonight's agenda is the 2019, if you can believe it, 2019 meeting schedule, which we need to review and make sure there are no changes before it gets posted. That's per our bylaws. So you think we need all these meetings, Director Akers?
Well, we can schedule all these meetings, and if we do not need them for varying reasons, we can make sure they're canceled in a timely manner. As we do every year, we have meetings scheduled on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 7:30. There are 2 meetings a month, except in the months of November and December due to Thanksgiving and the Christmas holiday. We don't have the second meeting during those months because they typically fall during either a closed week at the township or in November, the day before the Thanksgiving holiday when a lot of people are out of town. So this is the schedule which was approved by the Board of Trustees earlier in the year. Unless there are any changes that the Planning Commission wishes to make, which I'd be happy to move forward and take care of. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great, thanks. Questions or comments from the board, from the commission? Are we thinking for master plan that some of our regular meetings will also include some of the processes that we're required to do in master planning?
They potentially could. When we've talked, well, as far as where we're at on this subcommittee process, we received the survey back. We're still talking about our engagement strategies. We're discussing the time periods for which we're going to have some of our public engagement sessions. There was talk about engaging sessions which maybe ran from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to try to catch people all throughout the day. So I'm not anticipating will be during any regular meetings. They'll probably be in addition. However, if, you know, as we're going through the process, if we identify that maybe it makes sense to piggyback on them, we'll certainly do that.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Questions or comments? All right. You don't need action from us on this item, right?
I do actually, per the bylaws, need a motion for approval.
Is there a motion to accept the 2019 meeting schedule?
So moved.
Commissioner Boynton, support Richard Franza. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We're to general discussion. Anyone have an item for general discussion tonight? Anyone in the audience? Well, we won't see you until next year, formally. So happy holidays, everyone. Hope they are joyful, restful, peaceful. That's what I'm hoping for. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Commissioner Kelly, support Commissioner Boynton. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And thank you, we're adjourned. A reminder.